7 signs she loves you and finds you irresistible. How can you know if a woman is in love with you? There are many different ways to respond to this question, but the length of your relationship is going to be the determining factor. Knowing I'm going to be showing you 7 different ways a woman loves you. 1. A woman in love is happy and she glows. The first thing I'd like to talk about when it comes to a woman's love and emotions is her well-being and the happiness she feels on a daily basis. I can guarantee that if your girlfriend or wife is radiant, then she's feeling fulfilling and is enjoying life every day. If this is the case, you don't even need to look for more signs she loves you, because it's clear that she's head over heels in love. I know that this isn't always that straightforward, because sometimes your partner has a reserved personality, who doesn't reveal what she's feeling, and sometimes you might even be with someone who is pretending to be happy. If you take a closer look at what she's saying, her gestures and her attitude, then you will see when she's truly feeling good and acting natural, and when she's playing a role. All women in love feel good when they're close to their partners, and they have a special energy. It isn't easy to describe, but if I had to try to paint a picture, it would look something like this. She's tender. She's patient. She's always smiling. She puts things into perspective. She feels alive and satisfied, which is the biggest sign that she's in love. 2. She spends time with you and wants to see you. When she is in love, the second indicator comes in the form of the time that she decides to spend with you and how much she invests in the relationship. I know that this sounds obvious, but in all honesty, when I started doing this work in 2007, I realized the most important resource we have as human beings are time and the amount of liberty we have. Women would have no desire to spend their time and energy on a man for whom they don't feel anything. I, therefore, encourage you to be confident and stay positive when you have a woman that makes an effort to be by your side or to have the opportunity to further seduce you. I'm even going to take it a step further and say that one of the biggest signs a girl loves you is when she accepts all of your invitations to spend time together, even if it's for simple things. This is huge because the more time you spend together, the more you're able to show all your good sides. This doesn't mean that you should constantly be proposing things to do because you don't want to be clingy, but when you can see that she's become invested in the relationship and would like to see you, it is highly likely that she's becoming very attached. You don't need to look at the blatantly obvious or grandiose side of things to make sure that she is in love. This piece of advice is important because as human beings we like to hold on to a bit of magic in love, and this allows us to ignore the aspects of daily life, which are nevertheless very important. I want to stress this point because it can easily be misinterpreted. What I want you to take from this is that you can organize an incredible weekend trip and she'll, of course, be happy and look at you with love in her eyes. That said, make sure you don't neglect your everyday lives, because with daily, small gestures, you're going to reinforce her feelings for you and you'll begin seeing more signs she loves you. 3. You have a powerful effect on her. I often talk about seduction as something that involves power play where both the man and the woman are always interconnected. What I mean by that is that it's of utmost importance to hold on to the notion of attraction throughout the discovery phase and throughout the relationship. If you feel like your girlfriend or wife responds to your gestures and she's emotionally invested in the relationship, whether or not you live together, then she has very strong feelings for you. For example, if you put a little distance between you and in turn she gets closer and wants to invest more, it means that subconsciously she has a fear of losing you. This is how you can test how attached she is to you. Just be careful to never cross the line, because it can get out of control very quickly and you risk falling into emotional dependence, needing her to constantly prove her feelings for you. 4. She includes you in her life. I must admit, this one was a big surprise for me, and it was one of the biggest lessons I learned from my experience in coaching women. I have come to understand that when they love a man, when they're under his spell, or even when it's just the first days of the relationship, they don't hesitate before integrating him into their life. So if you've met someone who regularly puts you first, who doesn't keep you away from her friends, who shares her passions with you, it means that you're on the right track. Keep an eye out for this sign because it's particularly telling and can help you evaluate how she feels about you. After all, when you really think about it, if she's welcoming you into her personal life, you can take it as an excellent way to ease your doubts and anxieties about losing her. If this is how she's acting, it actually means that the relationship is evolving and you are in the process of earning her trust as her feelings for you increase. When a woman is in love, she is particularly focused on her partner. 5. She's always focused on you. To go even further than the previous sign that she loves you, keep in mind that a woman has a hard time controlling her emotions when she feels a strong attraction and feelings for someone. So she will begin to show signs of a small-scale emotional obsession, and her goal will be to fill your life with joy. It can be with a gift, special attention, an offer to give you a massage, or something that she says that boosts your ego, and you will be in the spotlight because she will be fully invested in the relationship. When a girl is in love, there are telltale signs. After reading many different books on the differences between men and women, all authors, that base their work on scientific studies, focus on the fact that women communicate more through emotions. Love, at first sight, is still an emotion, so it's hard to handle, and at one point she might want to devote herself to you completely. Don't be frightened, this is just a sign that she is in love with you and that you are important to her. This is one of the easiest ways to identify a woman in love. If you ever feel like it's a bit too much for you to handle, you can tell her that it's going too far and that she needs to focus a bit more on herself. Finding a happy medium in love is a delicate matter, but with proper communication, you'll be able to find a more balanced relationship. 6. You're the apple of her eye. There is another sign that she loves you that I've come to understand throughout my coaching experience. You may experience a form of jealousy that can arise as a result of her past, the men she's been involved with, and all of the unpleasant situations she's been faced with. In coaching two very different men, I came to the realization that a woman in love will know how to protect you from that. I was helping Patrick save his relationship, and he was with a woman who understood where he was coming from. He had asked her to no longer talk about the past because it made him uncomfortable. From that moment on, she knew how to protect him and show him how important he was to her on a daily basis, and their relationship was able to blossom. The past was no longer of any importance because they didn't discuss it anymore. 7. She's afraid of losing you. The seventh and last sign she loves you is directly related to emotional dependence. This sign could be perceived as something negative, but as we are talking about signs she loves you, we are going to consider it as a positive thing. A woman that is very much in love would logically fear to lose her man, and this doesn't necessarily have to have a negative effect on your relationship. If you enjoy being together and she has strong feelings for you, it's normal that she would make a comment if you spend time with too many women or if you don't give her much attention. Some jealous comments or behaviors are actually signs of love that is strong and are therefore positive. If you feel that it's going too far, then you can mention it to her, and she should be able to take a look at her behavior and be more in control of it. Like, share and subscribe.